Hey Wolfpack, Angela Wolf here, and welcome to Behind the Scenes. And as you can see by the little message scrolling, I've got a very special guest today. I know some of you got the newsletter last night, but in case you're not on the list, it might be new to you. I mentioned it last week though. A friend of mine, somebody who's been in the industry for a long time in the sewing world, you've probably seen a lot of pictures of us. In fact, Rhonda just pulled one out from 2016. And that was like after we knew each other for a few years. So I think, Rhonda, we've known each other for a decade now, officially. So everyone roll and say hi. I am live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. But the only comments we can see are YouTube and Facebook. So if you want to communicate, you want to pop into one of those. And I see you all. I see all of you rolling in. I have to say, Wolfpack, you are really on it today because you were here 10 minutes before we even started. So welcome. Now, I want to welcome my dear friend, Rhonda Pierce from Schmetz Needles. Hi, Rhonda.
Hello, Angela.
Oh, it's so nice to see you again.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, and I love that hot pink top you have on.
Thanks. You know what? It's like that summer. I actually had on a black turtleneck because I was weeding and I was like, I got to get something bright. When I'm around Rhonda, I just love seeing you, and you always have such great colors. And I love your top, by the way, but I love that quilt behind you.
Oh, thank you. That is a Ruby Star Society quilt panel that I bought, right before the pandemic hit. And my friend Amy did the quilting, and it truly is a magical unicorn. I love it. It's my favorite. And I have it hanging right here in the conference room in my office.
I think I recognize that room. I'm trying to think when Reen and I and the whole crew came out there.
That must have been about 2018 or 19, where I showcased about 6 different high-profile designers. And of course, Angela was right there. And I had executives from Schmetz, Germany here in the office. And everyone gave a presentation. And of course,
my gosh, that was so much fun.
It was fun. And executives learned a lot.
No, there you are. You're back. You froze. We lost you for a sec, but you're back. Yay.
Oh, that was an incredible day. And the Schmetz executives from Germany were very impressed with Angela.
Well, that's a compliment. You know, it was such an honor to be with everyone and to see the bigger picture of Schmetz Needles than you're the face. And you are what I consider, like when I think of Schmetz, and I think everyone says this, we think of Rhonda. But then to be able to meet some other people in the industry or in the Schmetz Needles from behind the scenes, from the whole big company, there's a lot more there than just what meets the eye.
Yeah, Schmetz Needles looks like a simple tool, but it's really a highly engineered tool that takes almost 12 weeks to make. So don't underestimate the power of that little 2-inch piece of steel or the staff that makes them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know you all are rolling in, and I also promise at the end that I'll save a few questions for Rhonda, but Rhonda has a lot of things to share with us, a lot. And you can start wherever you want to, but I know one thing you're going to be talking about is the new version of the needle book, which I absolutely love. So,
fantastic. Yes, let me talk about the updated Schmetz ABC Pocket Guide. Many of you are probably familiar with this one here. It's been around for many, many years. It's pocket size, chock full of lots of information. And last year I did a survey asking, well, how can I improve it? And one of the comments was, well, could you make a larger size with a larger font? So I hope that you find this one even easier to read. So it's a lot of the same information, because needles don't really change that much. But let me just walk you through all the information that is in here. One of the new features is all about the needle points. So there's 6 different needle points, and we talk about that, and we tell you which needles have that specific needle point. So that's new information in the ABC Pocket Guide. We've got the Schmetz color chart in here, so you can easily identify your needles. Many of you know that your Schmetz needles have either 1 or 2 bands of color. That top color band identifies your needle type, and the lower color band identifies your needle size. And your universal needles have only 1 band of color to identify the needle size. Then there's a quick review about all those numbers on your little Schmetz needle pack. You know, what does 130-705H mean? Well, that's the needle system. Think of it as a model number. It means that that needle has a flat shank and a little scar for indentation on the backside of the needle. Needle system 130-705 you can use in your home sewing machines. Then we photographed all the different Schmetz needle types. We tell you what sizes are available, the color coding, special features, etc. And at the back of this little booklet, we have an alphabetical listing of fabrics. So now you don't have to remember what needle type and size to use for your fabrics. So there's about 80 different fabrics listed. And then I would be remiss if I didn't point out the most important page in this little booklet is page 7. It's about the eyes of the needle so that you can see that the embroidery needle eye is wider and the top stitch in metallic have an elongated eye. What does that mean? When you have a larger eye in your needle, there's less stress on your thread as it's passing through the eye of the needle. So if you have problems with threads that are breaking or shredding, what do you need to do? Well, you need to change your needle. And you may need to move up a needle size or change to a different needle type with a larger eye. The other important part to page 7 is this list of clues to change the needle. And Angela, I'm sure you know that needles don't last forever. So here's the clues to changing out the needle, and I'll just do a quick review of those. When your threads are breaking or shredding, that's a clue that you need to change out your needle. When your fabric is puckering or snagging, or in a really bad case, maybe your needle is actually tucking the fabric into the throat plate. Well, that's a clue that your needle is dull and you need to change out the needle. And what about your stitches? Are your stitches skipping? Are your seams uneven? Or in a really, or maybe you're saying, oh, well, I'm sewing in a straight line, but my stitches look kind of wiggly squiggly. What's going on? Well, your needle's dull. So what are you going to do? Change out the needle. And there's one other clue to changing out the needle. And hopefully when you're sewing, your machine is humming along, right? And then you start to hear that little click, click, clicking sound. What is it? It's your needle saying, hey, I've been working hard here, change me. If you ignore the clicking sound, now it graduates to a pop, pop, popping sound. Now it's yelling at you, hey, change me, I've done my job. And if you ignore the clicking and the popping, what's happening now? Clunk, clunk, clunk. Your machine is begging you to change out the needle. So stop and think about it. You know, you've spent a lot of money on your machine or your machines. You spent a lot of money on your beautiful fabric stashes. You spent a lot of money on your beautiful threads, on your books, your patterns, your retreats, lectures, etc. And let's not forget your time. Your sewing time is an investment too. So let's complete that whole investment cycle down to the hardest working and the least expensive 2-inch piece of steel in your machine, the Schmetz needle. So don't be afraid to change out your needle.
Rhonda, I have to say, your voice descriptions of the sounds the needle makes when it starts to go, you have that spot on. Spot on.
Well, you know, I've been there.
Well,
and I go there.
Until you had mentioned that quite a few years ago when we had talked, I didn't pay attention as much. I mean, I change my needle a lot, but not as often as I should. But one time I was doing a live show, I think it was on Brother's site as a brand ambassador. That's what I was doing. And all of a sudden, somebody leaves a comment, listen to your machine. You need to change the needle. And I was like, how do they know? And then I talked to you again and watched one of your presentations, and I was like, oh, I think I was at the clunk clunk stage.
Yeah. Well, I'm not here to make anybody feel bad, but you need to be aware of the clues to change the needle, because again, you're spending a lot of time and you're working with expensive fabrics, and you want your finished project to look magnificent. And that includes changing out the needle. So yeah.
And that is so true. So, by the way, there's about 20 people that are commenting, just the comments alone. They love you, by the way. And they said, please tell us where we can get this book. Where does it go?
So when you go to buy your Schmetz needles at your local sewing machine dealer, sometimes they'll have this, and most likely it will be free. But if you don't have a local dealer, what you can do is go to schmetzneedles.com. At the very top of the screen, on the upper right-hand side, you'll see the menu, and it says resources. And so you can download this and print it out yourself for free. There's no charge for it. It's not going to be as cute as this one, but you know what? It will be helpful. But here's another thing. We've all got smartphones now, right? And you can actually download this onto your phone. So how do you do that? Well, you're going to go to schmetzneedles, all one word.com, and Angela's had that address up on your phone. And go to schmetzneedles.com and scroll down, and you're going to see this picture here. And either to the right or right below it, depending on if you're looking at a laptop or on your mobile phone, you're going to see, hey, download the free Schmetz web-based app. So you can download that, and let's see. Here's my, I've got an Android version, and right here, let's see, there we go, is the Schmetz app. So I'm just going to click that, and it says helpful tools, and here's the ABC Pocket Guide, so you can open that up. But the other thing about the Schmetz app is, now it has that list of alphabetical fabrics, all kinds of fabrics, almost 100 different fabrics that are listed. And you can click a fabric and it will suggest what needle type and size to use. Here's the Schmetz color chart that you can reference. And now I've added something new, and this is needles by thread type. So some of the popular thread companies, we have direct links to the thread companies and specifically to their home sewing threads. So if you got a question, you can use these as a free resource. So again, there's no charge for the Schmetz app, and there's lots of really valuable information in there. The fact is that, you know, needles aren't sexy, they're not romantic, they're not glamorous, right? But when you're sewing, this information makes sewing so much easier and hopefully more successful.
I'm just scrolling through the entire list of fabric that you have on here to choose. I guess I never, you said that's new or just expanded? Because I've never noticed it before.
Well, we had one in the old app, but it is expanded now because cork and bamboo and some of the newer fabrics are listed there. So if you, Angela, or your fans, the Wolf Pack, have any ideas of other fabrics that they want listed, they should send me an email at info@schmetzneedles.com, and we'll research that and add the fabrics. So yeah, fabrics are always changing, right?
That's perfect. I see the waxed canvas. This is one that is still a hot trend, but it was a super hot trend a couple years ago. Yeah. So this is awesome. So take a look, everyone. I'm just scrolling on the wax canvas, and this is what comes up. Yeah. And it tells you the size, the fabric use. You can add it to your favorites. Rhonda, this is brilliant. Yeah. A+ on this.
Well, this app, again, you download it from our website. The previous app that we had, you downloaded from Google Play or iStore. And you know what? Technology changes so quickly. We decided we had more control by using the web-based app, so we can update more frequently, and more people can use it easily.
Yes, so that is a good tip. So I think I have both. Can you actually have both on your phone? I have Schmetz everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. You can just delete the old one. It's a brighter blue
I
with a
love
white
the
background.
website. And there are a few more new things on there you're going to be sharing as well. So no more guessing. No
Yes.
kidding, darling. No more guessing.
Excellent. Well, let's just scoot along. And I want to talk about needles. And I'm guessing that your audience does a lot of fashion sewing. And I love to do fashion sewing too. I've just have some handwork to do. I'm finishing up a beautiful coat with Shannon digital print fabrics. The top that I'm wearing here today, I made. It's on the bias Fashion in Harmony. It's not a new top or a new pattern, but you know what? Now I can wear more summer-like clothes. So I had to dig in my closet. Anyway, so different types of needles. Now, when I saw Angela in Las Vegas last month, we did talk about some specific needles. We talked about sewing with knits, especially. And one of the packs that I gave Angela was this pack here of needles for knit and stretch fabrics. This is a combo pack that has both jersey and stretch needles in assorted sizes. You're going to find this pack at the big box store, certainly, and at some of your local sewing machine dealers. So, you know, when you're working with knits, that medium ballpoint makes a huge difference. And one of the questions I get asked is, well, if I'm working on a knit, how do I know? Do I use a stretch or do I use a jersey needle? Because both of those needles have a medium ballpoint. But the rule of thumb is if your knit fabric has lycra, spandex, or elastic, you're going to use the stretch needle. If it's just a regular knit, you're going to use the jersey needle. So stretch and jersey needles you can find at your local sewing machine dealer. You can also go over to schmetzneedles.com, and there's a little 3-pack bundle of both stretch and jersey needles. And guess what? This bundle comes with the ABC pocket guide that we just talked about, and it comes with a handy little luggage tag with the Schmetz color chart that you can put on your machine or hang on a bulletin board in your sewing room. So keep that in mind. So this package here that I just showed you, the knit and stretch, is part of an 8-piece collection. So there are 8 different packs of needles that are project driven. So if you like to do home deck, this is a great choice because it's got the jeans needle. It has the it has jeans, top stitch, and a large universal needle. If you like to do piecing and quilting, well, here's the piecing and quilting collection that has both Microtex and the quilting needle. So I won't go through all of these, but this is a great sampler pack where you can try nearly all the different Schmetz needle packs. And again, this you find over at schmetzneedles.com. It comes with the little luggage tag and the ABC pocket guide. So yeah, keep that in mind. The other packs, like a sampler pack, let me just show you this one here, because on the website it's labeled for piecing and quilting, and certainly all of these needles can be used for piecing and quilting. But if you're sewing on a woven fabric for a garment, you know what? You could use all of these needles too. We've got the universal needle, the workhorse of all needle types. We've got the jeans needle with that reinforced blade. We've got the top stitch needle with that elongated eye. The quilting needle, does that surprise you? Well, you know, one of the designers, Louise Cutting from, the Cutting line, she works with woven fabrics, and the only needle that she uses on her woven fabrics is a quilting needle. Isn't that surprising? And the piecing and quilting bundle also comes with the Microtex, known as a sharp needle. So don't let the bundle name trip you up. This piecing and quilting can be used also for your fashion sewing. And it comes with the ABC Pocket Guide and the luggage tag. So keep that in mind. There is an embroidery bundle. So 3 packs of embroidery needles. And there's also the super nonstick. How many of you have tried the super nonstick needle? These, yes,
man. I'm like, I was
know.
so happy when you came out with that. Yes, so leave a comment about that, by the way, because we would love to know if you've used it or this is new to you.
Yeah, these came out right before the pandemic. So if people don't know about it, that's fine. That's what I'm here for today. It's a great needle when you're working with vinyl, if you're working with hoop and loop tape, if you're working with splash fabric or oilcloth, and certainly if you do machine embroidery, this is a great needle choice because even you can even virtually you can see these needles look a little bit different, and there's no color coding on here because these needles have that charcoal gray kind of gunmetal color coating, and that is the anti-adhesive coating. So it's going to resist any of those sticky stabilizers that you work with, those spray adhesives, fusibles, etc. So these needles come in 4 different sizes, 70, 80, 90, and 100. They are bundled up also with the ABC Pocket Guide and the luggage tag. And one more thing, let me just show you real quick. In this project-driven collection of 8 cards, there is this one here called Vinyl Needles. Now, don't let that name trip you up. It says vinyl. You're going to use these on vinyl. But these are the super nonstick needles in assorted sizes. So you've got sizes 70, 80, 90, and 100. So if you're looking for a sampler, this would be a great way to start if you didn't want to buy the single size pack. So you've got some options.
Those are a lot of options, and I can see a lot of you asking questions, and Rhonda actually answered them before she even finished. They were asking about vinyl, about leather. I think you covered it all.
Yeah. Now, the leather needle has a cutting blade, so you're probably not going to want to use that anywhere else except for leather, because what happens when you make that stitch with the leather needle, it's going to leave a hole. You can remove the thread, but it's going to leave the hole and cut any fibers if you're working on a knit or on a woven fabric. So be careful where you use that leather needle.
Oh, that's a really good tip. In fact, I remember somebody talking about using the leather needle on other things. And they were like, I don't know if I like that. I go, well, I don't think that's what it's for.
Yeah, no. Sewing on leather has really grown in popularity, especially during the pandemic. But you know what? It's not for everyone. And again, once that stitch is made, it leaves a hole.
That you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So one of the questions I get asked, well, what do I do with those slightly used needles? Where you started a coat, now you need to make a cuddle project. So now you're going to be using a stretch 9014. So what do you do with that original slightly used needle? And you can set it aside. We all do it. Or maybe you throw it into a pin cushion and you're going to remember, oh yeah, I'm going to remember that that's still sewing worthy. But a better way than relying on your memory is the Grab It My Pad Needle Organizer. So many of you are familiar with the Grab It magnetic pin cushion. Well, I like that product so much, I went back to the office and said, you have to buy that product line. And guess what? We did. And one of the products is this needle organizer. And I updated this last year. So now all of the Schmetz needle types are listed here using the Schmetz color chart. So orange for jersey, red for embroidery, etc. And then there's a cell for each of the different needle sizes. So now you can just slide your slightly used needle into the appropriate needle type and size. It also comes with a little flower head pin. So if you've got some older Schmetz needles, and don't we all, have some older Schmetz needles that maybe don't have the color coding. Once you take that needle out of the package and you put it in your machine, you can use the flower head pin to identify the needle currently in your machine. So just slide that little flower head pin right in. So the Grab It My Pad you're going to find at your local sewing machine dealer, and it's some of your fabric, your local fabric shop. So it's a nice thick piece of felt, and your needles just slide right in. Mine at home has a lot of different types of needles organized. Oh, Babette is saying, oh, she needs it. Yes, yes. So, and it's
quite a few people on Facebook and YouTube that were saying, oh my gosh, why have I not heard of this yet? Well, you just did. That's why Rhonda's here.
That's why I'm here. You can go to schmetzneedles.com and you can pick that up along with some needles. So also from the Grab It product line, many of you are familiar with the Grab It's. The Grab It magnetic pin cushion. This is actually a mini one. We have mini Grab It's in 3 different colors. That's a 3-pack. But I'm thinking, oh, we need to do something special. So we came up with the swirl collection. So it comes in 3 different colors. There's a red, a blue, and then there is a white magnetic pin cushion. So it doesn't come with pins. You add your own pins. But what I want to show you is when I take this out of the package, there's a little plastic dome on here. So you're going to set this down and pop it off. Did you hear that pop? It sounds like it's going to break, but it hasn't yet. And I've popped this dozens and dozens of times. So when you go to a sewing retreat and you want to take your Grab It magnetic pin cushion, leave your pins on there and then just return this little plastic dome. It's going to snap right back on. So now your pins aren't going to flick off in your sewing basket or bag. So 3 colors. I'm really excited. And these are limited edition. So hopefully they'll last till Christmas.
I love those. I never thought of the idea of putting the cover on it I mean, that's brilliant because whenever you try to carry it, you can't. Or I'll put it in a Ziploc bag. This is so much classier.
Well, the original packaging did not have a dome like this. So we worked until we got the right thing. And so it's really quite handy. And again, it sounds really rigid, but so far it keeps popping back.
So far.
These you're going to find, you might find these at your local sewing machine dealer and definitely at schmetzneedles.com. So keep those in mind. Okay.
So Rhonda, I don't know if you saw the Wolf Pack rolling in and they're like, hey, we need a pink Angela Wolf Schmetz needle.
Oh, I love that idea. Pink is on my radar, and I did a survey about 2, maybe 3 years ago. Oh yeah, don't we all lose track of time? And pink was one of the colors. So yeah, well, might have to do something about that.
We're always giving you new ideas.
That's what I like. Okay, well, let me just go through a couple other things because wow, time is moving quickly. Guess what? I can reveal this today. These needles haven't even been in our warehouse an hour yet, but we've got a new needle. And as you know, needles don't really change that much. But, and how long has it been? It's been at least, oh my gosh, has it been 5 years since we've had a new needle? We have a new needle. This is the Schmetz Gold Jeans needle. It's available in size 100. Now, even our distributors don't even have this. They don't even know about it. We were supposed to get these last year. And then, the pandemic kind of put a wrench in everything. So I haven't even publicized these yet, but you are the first to know about them. The Wolf Pack is the first to know about these. This is the Schmetz Gold Jeans needle. That jeans needle has a reinforced blade, so there's less needle deflection when your stitch is created. And the titanium helps to keep the needle cool. So there's less resistance to the needle passing through your fabric and less resistance happens to the thread passing through the eye of the needle. So I would guess probably in another month or so, you'll see these at your local stores and certainly at smetsneedles.com. So, wow, Angela, your timing was perfect for this needle announcement.
I love it. As you know, we love sewing jeans. The trends are changing right now to a little bit looser, kind of like a boot cut and a bell bottom. So I think that we need to make another pair of jeans, and this is going to be perfect for it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, I have just a couple other little things I'll just mention. The first Wednesday of every month, I do a Facebook, I should say Schmetz Snippet Live. It's currently on Facebook. And in August, it's going to transition over to smetsneedles.com. So if you're not on Facebook or YouTube or any of the other places, you'll be able to watch it right from our website. So that's the first Wednesday of every month at noon Central Time. So, and I always have great giveaways. In fact, Angela, I think I've given a couple of your patterns away a couple of years ago. My giveaways range from $300 to $500, so they're really wonderful giveaways. The other thing I'll just mention is that I have a monthly newsletter. I try not to waste your time. I have a needle fact. Recently, the needle fact has been about Schmetz needle points, the actual point of the needle. And it's information that you can share with your friends or your guilds, etc. You just copy and paste. And then I just meet so many interesting people that I try to include that along with any specials. And about 2 or 3 times a year, I have a special that's only available through the newsletter. And last year it was it was a 7.5-inch square tin with the circle of needles on the cover, and it was filled with needles, etc. So that was really special, and I'll be doing something very special again for the holidays 2023. So that's through the Schmetz Needles newsletter. How do you get that? Go over to smetsneedles.com, and after about 20-30 seconds, one of those irritating pop-up messages will say, hey, sign up for the newsletter. So you can
not irritating if you want it.
Well, I'm signed up for the newsletter, of course, and it still pops up for me.
That is hilarious. I see some of the Wolfpack, they already watch your show. They love your show. Others are saying they love your newsletter. I love your newsletter. There's always so much information. I absolutely love them. And someone else said that they won at your last giveaway. So
fantastic. Yay. Well, I invite the entire Wolfpack to come and visit. And right now the link it's certainly in the newsletter. So I'll be doing the first Wednesday is a week from today at noon Central. So join me. You'll find the link also at Facebook. So
perfect. So Wolfpack, that means on Wednesday, go see her first. And then come over to my show. It'll be perfect. You get a whole couple of hours.
Yes, back to back.
Sewing, back to back. Hey, Rhonda, you had something, speaking of newsletters, I think you found something that from, what did we say? That was 2016?
2016. Look at this. This is Angela, 2016. I published Schmetz Inspired to Sew e-zine, and it was kind of new at the time, e-zines. I wanted something free for people that they could easily share, and I wanted to celebrate our sewing and quilting celebrities, and certainly Angela is one of our favorite celebrities. So here's a funny picture of us. I think we were at Joy Mahon sewing weekend. Yes.
I remember that.
That's 2015. I think I've lost a little weight compared to that picture. Anyway, it's profiling Angela, and it shows her celebrations and her fishing expeditions. And I think your sewing studio was brand new or about that time. And then
that 2016 was my other studio before I bought this building. So That is a long time ago.
Yes. And then I love to take pictures. So I did a collage of Angela and her works. And the other funny thing was there was the last page is always about Schmetz. And here it's talking about the new Schmetz app for Android. So technology has changed. So now you just go to our website for both Android and. So anyway, it was a lot of fun to see you in this issue. So how do you get this? Well, go to schmetzneedles.com, and at the very top on the upper right-hand corner, you see resources, and then you'll see Schmetz Inspired to Sew. And there is, I only published 100 issues. Issue 100 is an index by topic and also by designer and event. So you can see a lot of the our popular talent right here in these magazines. And gosh, you know what? I was even profiled. Rita Farrow, who did the writing, the interviewing, she interviewed me. So I was issue number 86. Oh, right here. 86. And there you see Sue. Yeah. So lots of inspiration in the magazine.
And you always do such a good job. When do you still do the full magazines?
No. I thought
the newsletters.
I wanted to keep it fresh. I stopped at 100, but so now I've got the newsletter. Yep.
But your newsletter is still packed with information. So you might as well call it a magazine.
Yeah. Well, I try to make it interesting because I'm talking about needles. So
oh my gosh, Rhonda. Well, I know we are full on time, but I've got two questions that are really important that only you can answer. And I have your website up, and yes, you do have industrial needles, but Karina wants to know, and a few other people are saying, do you have a variety of industrial needles?
Yes, on industrial needles, and you'll find that menu at the top. It goes home sewing, industrial, grab it, etc. Click industrial. What you need to know about your industrial needles is that you need to know the needle system, because many of those industrial needles are not compatible with all machines. Yeah, you got it right there. So you'll click the industrial needle. If we keep the most popular industrial needles in stock. If you have a needle system that's not listed there, there's a link and you'll tell us what you're looking for. Sometimes it may take us a few weeks to bring it in, but most likely we can get it. So yes, you must know your needle system and the size that you require.
Good question. Just scrolling through the website. Oh my gosh, you guys have it laid out so well. So needle type. That's a lot of types.
Oh, you know what? Go back to the top under needle. Okay, click home sewing. And go to the home page. And there should be bundles. I wanted people to see okay, go down. Scroll down and right there. You see needle bundles. Click that. And here's all these wonderful bundles that I just talked about. So you've got the embroidery, the piecing and quilting sampler, sewing with knits. Scroll down just a hint more, and you've got all kinds of samplers. So
Rhonda, I'm looking at these. Is this the price for all of those with the book, like whatever's shown there?
Right. Wow. Now you have to keep in mind that on our website, because really we prefer that you go to your local store to buy needles, but in this changing world, we do have these bundles, but there's a $35 minimum on our website. So you can, if you spent $13 on needles and you don't want to buy any more, you're still going to be charged $15 for shipping. So you might as well meet that $35 minimum order so you get the free shipping.
This is a great
and
navigate.
The bundles that you want, those 5 bundles, or maybe You want to make sure you get the one that has the little luggage tag, because there's only like 6 different bundles that have the luggage tag. They all have the ABC Pocket Guide, but not all of them have the luggage tag color chart. So be aware of that.
Okay, that's good to know. That luggage tag is great.
Yes. I meet wonderful people. Like, I was at the airport in February on my way to QuiltCon in Atlanta, and I'm just sitting there minding my own business, and I've got the luggage tag on my briefcase, and the lady across from me, she goes, are you going to QuiltCon? I said, yeah. What's your clue? Oh, you've got the Schmetz luggage tag. She goes, I sew too.
That's wonderful. That's a great, I never even thought about that. You always look at what people are carrying. I was just at Walgreens on Sunday, Sunday. And I'm out of town, and this lady said to me, you look so familiar. And you never know. Is it fishing? Is it from TV? Is it just because my voice? So I first thing I said to her, do you sew? She goes, nope. I go, then I don't know where I know you from, because that's about it. Sewing or fishing. But those luggage tags are amazing. I used to carry one on the side of my Wolfpack bag that Karina made me. And I took it off because I left it on a machine. So I should put it back on there, because it's like our secret code.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I think I need to actually publicize this even more as an easy meet and greet.
That's perfect. Darlene wants to know, are the bundles available in stores?
No, that is a Schmetz Needles special that you'll find on our website. However, that said, since the pandemic, I've given over 300 virtual classes for stores, guilds, retreats, etc. And oftentimes the stores will bring in these bundles at a special price. So keep that in mind. If you have a guild or a store and you'd like my full class, and it is a formal class, you need to get in touch with me, and we'll get something scheduled for later in the year or next year. So the bundles support the class that I teach, and they're great samplers. So you can find them at schmetzneedles.com. Good question.
Yeah, now Catalina wants to know, and this is one of the biggest topics. Oh, I love that big needle. I have one in the other room. Sergers and cover stitch. Can they use regular standard needles? I know some machines you can't. And
right. So I'm not even going to try to answer by serger manufacturer and model. What I will say is, for your serger, you need to open up that cover, the front cover of your serger, and it will tell you what needle system to use. A lot of the newer sergers will use needle system 130-705H. What that means, it's a flat shank needle with a scarf. That's our regular home sewing machine needle. But some of the sergers require needle system ELX 705. That is still a flat shank needle, but ELX 705, unlike our regular needle, has not just a front groove, but it also has a groove on the back side of the needle that some of your stitches require. So I know my machine, my serger says use ELX 705, but I know from my serger expert friends that I can use a regular home sewing machine needle. But when I start to have problems, then, okay, I'll do what the manufacturer suggests, and I will use that ELX 705, and that eliminates my stitch problems. So again, on some of your sergers, you can use a regular home sewing machine needle, but again, on some of your sergers, you must use ELX 705. So you need to do a little bit of research and talk to your dealer.
That's awesome. Rhonda, this has been so informative. You all have been so great watching as well, because, Rhonda, if you go to see her at one of these classes, you're going to be amazed. You even learn more. But thank you for giving us everything that's new. You gave us so much information today. We just absolutely love it. I went way over how much time I had asked you to stay with me, so I hope you're not late for any.
Oh, no. I'm done now. I'm on easy street for the day. I'll also just mention, Angela, I do have a personal blog. It's S-E-W, morestitches.com, morestitches.com. I'm not selling anything, but now that I'm starting to travel again, I'm documenting my travels. I was in Nebraska and Colorado last week. I went to the Rocky Mountain Quilt Show. I went to my local community quilt show, and I do a lot of original sewing and quilt expos. And so I was in New Orleans a couple of weeks ago. So I posted pictures from my class and all the people that I meet and all the inspirational displays. So if you're again, morestitches.com. If you're interested, come on by, and I'll be updating that again soon.
That's awesome. You know, I think since I did not mention yet that I'm very excited that you are sponsoring Fabric to Fashion, the new TV show. And the show has not launched yet because we're still waiting for the Made It Myself TV channel, but we have recorded 4 challenges, and each guest that is filming gets one of these books. They get a bundle package from Schmetz to make sure it works with your fabric. So Rhonda, since I have like some extra of these, and I have I think we should do a fun giveaway where I'm going to mail somebody Rhonda's fabulous book and the knit needles, because that's what we've been working on. We've been sewing knits for the last 3 weeks. So I think we should draw a lucky winner of somebody who's live here who's made a comment. What do you think?
I think go for it.
Everybody's saying, Rhonda, you're awesome. I agree, Karen. She is awesome. And Rhonda, I know you probably could not see all of the comments rolling in. Yes, Karina, they are a sponsor for the new TV show, which we love. Thank you. But while I'm bringing up the screen to draw a winner, if you've made a comment, you're scrolling in. Terry wants to know, okay, when can they buy these gold G needles? They're dying for this.
You know what? It's probably going to be a few weeks yet. So like I said, they're still hot. We haven't even photographed them yet. So, but you know what? I'll let Angela know when these are available. And certainly I'll make an announcement in the Schmetz Needles newsletter and also on Facebook. So Schmetz Needles, all one word, on Facebook and Instagram. I'll have an announcement.
Excellent, excellent. And Lorraine, this will be the last question we take while I bring this up. What recommendation do you have for a 10 needle?
Oh my gosh. You know what? For those 10 needle, I'm assuming that's an embroidery machine. You really need to check with your manufacturer. A lot of them will use a regular embroidery needle. Maybe depending on the type of fabric, you could try that super non-stick needle. Some people like to use a top stitch. If it's a finer fabric and you're doing finer embroidery, the Microtech. So yeah, 10 needles machines, it's a whole different machine compared to a 1 needle home sewing machine. So I don't have a specific answer for you. You'll need to get in touch with your manufacturer.
Melody, I'm with you. Melody's like, who would ever know that you could have like a month-long session on needles? All right, so let's do a drum roll for a lucky winner that will get the beautiful book. But don't forget, you can go to their website. You can print this off yourself. If you have a color printer, print it off. It's absolutely beautiful.
And you know what, Angela? These needles are not identified. I hope when your Wolf Pack gets a hold of this ABC Pocket Guide, they actually take a look at the points and the tips and the eyes, because you can really see the difference. Then you go over to schmetzneedles.com, and about midway on the homepage, you'll see that these needles are identified. So take a look at that.
Oh, that's a good idea. And also, I will make sure in the next newsletter that I drop a few links for you all. And don't forget to go over and sign up for Rhonda's newsletter, for the Facebook, and all of that to keep in touch of what's going on.
Wonderful. All right. Angela, thank you so much.
Oh, this is so awesome. Rhonda, thank you for taking the time to join the Wolf Pack. Needles are the most important thing in our hobby, really. Drum roll.
Without them.
Oh, Michaela Gross. Congratulations, Michaela. I believe Michaela is one of the newest members to the Fashion Sewing Club, if I remember correctly. she's new to the Wolfpack. So Michaela, congratulations, girl.
Yay,
So,
Michaela.
and I know that I have your email because I sent you an order a few weeks ago. So I will make sure that I get this into the mail to you. I can't have Rhonda sign it for you because she's there, but I could pretend. I'll put a heart, Rhonda. How's that?
Yes.
Heart, Rhonda and Angela.
Exactly. The Schmetz red heart for Rhonda.
I love it. I love it. Well, Rhonda, we can't thank you enough for taking the time to come here. I'll make sure I put links so they can find you. And what is your next event where they can? A lot of people are asking about Sew Expo 2024, but that's a long time away.
Oh my gosh, I think in August is the beginning of Original Sewing and Quilt Expo. So I'm doing 5 of the 6. So I'll be in Texas, Ohio, and I can't even remember where I'm going to. Oh, and you know what? If you have any Canadian fans, I'm doing a week-long tour in Canada in August, early August. So I'm looking forward to that, visiting a few stores. So my schedule is in the newsletter.
You will have to let me know about that. I'll have to pay attention to the newsletter. I'll just watch for it because I know Heather's on here, Pat. We've got quite a few Canadian members of the Wolfpack. They will be very excited to see you.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I'm going to fly into Toronto and then I'll be making my way to Niagara Falls, Canada for the week.
Wow. Oh, can hardly wait for those pictures, Rhonda.
Yeah, me too.
So I don't know if Heather's on here. I haven't seen her today, but Pat, you're on here. I know you guys are going to be doing the happy dance because the Canadian, all of the fans always are like, nothing's up here. Well, yes, there is now. Go follow Rhonda.
Yeah, you know, I did a Fabricville probably a year or so ago, and I love that store. If you're in BC, not Fabricville, not Fabricland. Oh my, Fabricana. It's my favorite store in Canada and maybe North America.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Rhonda, thank you again. Say hi to the team at Schmetz. We are sending our love from the Wolfpack, and we love all the new things you come out with, and we love your knowledge of needles because I can think of so many people that say they've never changed their needle ever. I'm going to cut out just the part of your thump thump. What was it again? There was 3 things: the tick tick.
No, pop, click, clunk.
Pop, click, clunk. All right, we got it.
Okay, my best to you and Win and to the entire Wolfpack. And thank you for using Schmetz needles. I hope our paths cross in person this year. And if they do, be sure to come up and say hello and tell me what your favorite needle type and size is. Thank you, Angela.
Awesome. Thank you, Rhonda. Until next time, everyone. Happy sewing.
Bye. So Schmetz.